It's time for Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock.
Believe me when I say we have a difficult time ahead of us. But if we are to be prepared for it, we must first shed our fear of it. I stand here without fear because I remember that I am here not because of the path that lies before me, but because of the path that lies behind me. I remember that for 100 years we have fought these machines. And after a century of war, I remember that which matters most. We are still here! Tonight, let us make them remember we are not afraid!
No fear, no fear, no fear here on Declare Your Independence with me, Ernest Hancock, here in Phoenix, Arizona, from the beautiful studios of Freedoms with an S, freedomsphoenix.com. In studio, I have Drew Phillips, because he's going to have something to say about my first guest. We have Michael Allison. I'm going to intro this real quick. Michael's got a 3-hour story he wants to tell you, so I'm going to go ahead and do it in about, 40 seconds here, and then we'll get to some of the meat. Here in Arizona and a lot of places around the country, there are various different ordinances. They just keep making up laws and ordinances and whatever and statutes, and you make enough laws, sooner or later everybody is a criminal. What they did is they said, if you have a vehicle, even in your own driveway, if it is not registered and insured and all this, they can cite you, they'll haul off the car, they sell it, pay for the towing and the storage fees and everything, and thanks for your contribution to the state. You're feeding the state. Now, if you put it in a garage, and hide it, then you're okay. But if you got it on your own property and you refurb vehicles like Michael Allison does, you have to have it insured and registered and the money going to the government man before you can do anything else, or they'll take it from you. This has been going on for years. Michael's very upset about it. So what does he do? He gets tape recorders. He has officers talk to him. He records them. He uses that to, make his case in a case. He goes to the court system. You have the judge there. He walks in. They have no court reporter. He says, I want a court reporter. Is there a court reporter? No court reporter. So he has his own recorder. Judge says, you have a recorder? Yes, I do. Are you recording? Yes, I am. You're guilty of a felony. Boom. This is, and it's Illinois. So guess who just became mayor of Chicago? Rahm Emanuel, so yeah, you think this is going to get stopped? You think that Rahm Emanuel wants you taping the police forces of? Heck no. So Reason Magazine, Radley Balco, guest of the show, he wrote a story on it. It's called The War on Cameras. Now, Drew Phillips is one of our videographers here. Now, we go through this all the time. He carries around, what do you call your camera?
It's a 45 millimeter. Lens.
He carries a 45 millimeter open carry, So, Michael, I got you there?
Yes.
Okay. Now, that kind of semi-sums it up. Tell me, where are you at right now?
Well, currently I am trying to find an attorney that is ready, willing, and able to challenge the constitutionality of this statute that I'm being charged under. Okay.
Now, which statute are you challenging the constitutionality of?
It's titled the Illinois Eavesdropping Statute.
All right. Now, it's to protect what? Government, individuals, people. Here in Arizona, you can videotape as long as one person knows that they're being taped or recorded. Now, I imagine Illinois is different, and they sure as heck are going to protect, the man. Now, what is it that you were recording? What were you trying to accomplish with your recording that upset them?
Well, I was trying to record my own words first and foremost. I wanted a record of what I was saying at the time. And I also wanted a record of any threats, harassment, and intimidation that was directed towards me from the police and any other public official who was involved in what I believe is an extortion scam.
Okay, now there's some interesting details in this. You'll have you need to have the sheriff's department sign off on something. They kind of do the seizure. You do a lien on it. You get the record service, make some bucks. They're out scouring. I mean, we've gone through this here in Phoenix and a lot of stuff. They go, we received a complaint. Really? From who? Well, our surveillance plane. I mean, seriously, we had an instance of that in our backyard. Kind of, we say your pool's green, and I go, what pool? Well, we got a complaint, from who? From our airplane. Well, the pool's not there. It was an above ground pool we took down, and they're going, well, we got to get in your backyard and look anyway. And I'm going, the complaint comes from the government. They're looking for a revenue stream, and they see vehicles out there, and they're not registered. Ooh, we just got us some bucks. Thank you very much. So here, tell us about the connection of the record service that you found with the sheriff's department or law enforcement.
Well, in 2003, I was dealing with a situation that came up with the city of Bridgeport, which is where I actually live. And in 2003, they came onto my property with a tow truck and illegally seized 2 of my classic cars that I was in the process of restoring. The third car that was also on the property that had been wrecked and was in pretty rough shape, they left it set right on the property. They never even bothered to touch it. And all 3 vehicles were not registered. And the 2 classic Buicks that I had already started restoring, the motors had already been restored in both of them. They were nice old cars. And when they seized them in 2003, I got them back. And in 2005, they did it again and took the same 2 cars and left the third one behind. And in 2005, when I got them back, I sued the towing company and the city and various other public officials. And through the discovery process, I found out that they were extorting cash in the form of fines, towing fees, and impound storage fees. And they were also extorting the vehicles themselves.
Okay, what was my original question? My question was, what is the connection between one of the record services and law enforcement?
Whenever this took place in Robinson, I discovered that the record service, or the sheriff deputy who actually arrested me under the Illinois eavesdropping statute, his name is Jason Langley, and his brother is Jim Langley, and he runs a record service, a Langley's record service. And so from what I am my belief so far, from what I have uncovered, is that I believe that the sheriff's department orders the vehicles to be seized, and the towing company comes onto private property and seizes the towing or the vehicles, and then the sheriff's department fraudulently converts the titles by sending paperwork through the sheriff's office to the state of Illinois to convert the titles.
Okay, so then the vehicle is up for auction. Then they pay everybody in the line. The record service guy gets his cut. I'm sure law enforcement gets their cut. Everybody gets a cut on your vehicle.
Right.
All right. Now, this is what prompted this, okay? You got your story out, man. I have my cars on my property, bite me. Well, they go, you know what? Yeah, we got 3 here. We're going to take the 2 good ones, and you can keep that wreck. We don't care about that one. So we're going to take these 2. We're going you go, I demand my rights. I want my due process. I'm going through and I'm taping everything, getting kind of. And you're an older gentleman. How old are you?
I'm 42.
So 42. You're experienced individual. You're not some 23-year-old kid. And you're out there documenting this. Now, in the process of doing this and embarrassing them and making this available, but the thing is that you're not really on the internet, are you?
No, I'm.
So how the heck are you getting this out? How do you know? How does people know? I mean, no wonder it's taken 7 years.
I'm just beginning to get up on the internet and technology. This issue has forced me to bring myself up to the modern age.
Yeah. Okay, so now here's the question. We're going to hit the commercial break here, but I tell you, you think about this. When we come back, there were instances where you got them on tape admitting to saying something, and they said, oh, heck no. We're going to charge you with felonies. And then it came to Reason Magazine, Radley Balco's attention, and let's see where we're going now. Because you're facing how many years in jail?
It's 4 to 15 years per count, and they say that they've got 5 counts against me.
So, rest of your life. We'll talk about it when we come back with Michael Allison.